All right. So I want to start with a reading from Trust and Awakening. I'll do a reading and a little talk, and then we'll do a little meditation based on that. Right. This is from my book, Trust and Awakening. This is the one I mentioned as a retranslation of the Xing Ming. It's the first Zen or Chan poem. And this is stanza number 5. Refrain from living in the world. Refrain from pursuing absence. Repose in harmonious love, polarities gone. This is a really great stanza. To me, with translating these, I wanted to have them convey a particular kind of experience or realization. So each stanza would be sort of a standalone marker. People could read the book and get a sense of where they were, what they've been experiencing, was my intention. And on this, refrain from living in the world, it doesn't mean that we don't live in the world. It means that we don't take the everyday world as the totality of all existence and all reality. So we of course are in the world, but we're not so invested in the world that we think this is the only reality. That's the important part there. Second line, refrain from pursuing absence. So just as we don't want to fixate on the everyday world as being the totality of reality, we also don't want to get so attached, so mono-focused on experiencing absence, what traditionally we call emptiness in Buddhism. So we're not so obsessed or fixated on a transcendent experience, rejecting the everyday world entirely. So you can see each is a kind of fixation on one view of reality that we're taking for the totality. And part of the function of realization, particularly deepening, embodying, mature realization or expression of realization, is really abiding in both worlds equally and understanding that there's a symbiotic relationship. It's from the Heart Sutra, the 2 lines, form is emptiness, emptiness is form. That means the everyday world is completely the transcendent. It's completely the source of all manifestation and creation, the absolute. So that would be the form is emptiness, and the other line is then absence, or the absolute is form. So is all of reality, the absolute is all of reality. So all of reality, all of form world is the functioning of the absolute, and the absolute is the form world. So both are happening synergistically at the same time. This is important to get. And the third line, repose in harmonious love. So when we're holding both of these, form is emptiness, emptiness is form. When we're holding both of those through experience, through understanding, through knowing, and functioning in the world, we're going to be in this harmonious love because everything is in the proper balance. So because of that, our perspective is accurate, our orientation is correct, we're not overly attached, we're not overly rejecting anything, then we're going to be in a sort of harmonious love. We're going to be resting in the love of the absolute, feeling the harmony of whatever's appearing being a function of the absolute. And the last line is polarity's gone. So we're eliminating the extremes. We're eliminating either form or emptiness, heaven or hell, everyday world and absence. So rather than getting into the either or polarities, we're removing those by seeing the interrelationship, sort of like a figure 8, that emptiness is form, form is emptiness. The everyday world is the absolute, and the absolute is the everyday world. So that's always true. For many years, I chanted this as the Heart Sutra as a common document that is chanted in the Zen temples. And chanting that line, the form is emptiness, emptiness is form, I didn't realize until a few years back that I was viewing this as, instead of is, I was using it as the word become. So form becomes emptiness. Emptiness becomes form. So this was looking at one aspect of their manifestation, not the totality. And I realized that the word is terribly important. It's more of an equal sign. Form is the absolute is form. So right now, in this moment, in this breath, this is what's happening. And that really lets us see the interrelationship of the source, the absolute, and the manifestation, the everyday world. We use language in Buddhism. We talk about the absolute being the unconditioned, meaning it doesn't have a birth or a death. It's not conditioned by those markers. And anyway, so we can see that it has complete freedom in the movement between form and emptiness. And resting in that place lets us function with the maximum of freedom. This is the liberation we talk about in Buddhism. We're not tied to the conditioned world. We're not tied to the unconditioned world. We understand there's an interplay that's going on all the time. So let's do a little meditation here. Go ahead and seat yourself in your meditation posture. Start with some settling belly breaths, really filling your lungs and abdomen all the way down to genitals with fresh air, and then releasing as much of that air as you can. Let your awareness fully accept everything that's in your perception or experience right now. Whatever's happening in your body or mind, simply accept it. You don't have to figure it out. You don't have to know what you like and dislike. Just welcome it all. This is what's here. Start by bringing awareness to the hara. This is a chakra and energy center about 2 finger breadths below the navel and 2 or 3 finger breadths in from the surface of the skin. This is a terribly important energy center in the Chan and Zen tradition. For those of us who have worked koans, it's not uncommon to hold a koan in the hara as we stay with it moment to moment. Feel the sense of grounding or seatedness in the hara. For some, it may feel quite spacious, vast, open. Others, it may feel smaller, like sitting in a small room. Whatever your experience is just fine. Put down any thoughts that are distracting in this moment. Just let them move further away, like clouds in the distant sky. We're not trying to stop any thoughts. We're just not playing with them. We're not engaging with thoughts. Breathing into the hara, feeling that inner grounded seat, the here-ness, the now-ness of it. On the next in-breath, invite awareness into the heart area, the heart chakra, another energy center from the yogic tradition. And let awareness open fully in the heart chakra. We want to sense and intuit around the edges of our experience in the heart chakra, often the heart qualities of the Absolute, in their delicateness, will abide subtly in what appears to be the corners of our perception. So sense to the edges, the quiet places in your experience. You might come in contact with upekkha, which is what we call equanimity. Equanimity is about accepting fully the truth of this moment. You might feel karuna, which is compassion, the tender love, the tender loving hands that help support and hold the difficulties of life, the suffering, the dukkha of being human. You might find contact with mudita, empathetic joy. This is that joy that you feel when you see another being receive something that just delights them. A child with the ice cream cone, a couple in love, kissing and embracing, seeing the sheer joy in their experience resonates that mudita in our experience. And finally, we can contact love, the unborn, uncreated love of the Absolute. This is the love that loves everything without restriction. It loves without measure. You don't need to earn this love, and you can't do anything to lose it. So, however you judge yourself, whatever mistakes you witnessed that you've made are irrelevant to the Absolute. Invite tenderness into your heart area, being willing to receive one or more of these delicate qualities of the Absolute. You might also contact innate goodness. This is a light, uplifting sense of good. Some people report it as like a warm flow or a warm breeze on a cold day. It has a kind of effervescent and uplift, a bubbliness. Whatever you're in touch with in this moment in your heart chakra is just fine. Just rest in that, feeling the tenderness, the love that's here. On the next in-breath, invite awareness to the center of the forehead, what's called the wisdom eye in Theravada Buddhism, and the Dharma eye in the Zen tradition. This is an energetic chakra, an energetic ability to intuitively see. Those of you with inner sight in your meditation, this is the source, the function of that inner sight. For all of us, the wisdom eye helps us develop intuitive knowing. We know what something is based upon contact, not by reflection of concepts. Breathe into the wisdom eye if you can. Feeling the profoundness, the profundity of the function of the wisdom eye. Seeing deeply into reality. Perceiving through intuition the unconditioned functioning of the Absolute. This is how we see the Absolute in daily life, is through the wisdom eye. On the next in-breath, invite awareness to the top of the head, what's called the crown chakra in the yogic system. The crown chakra is a portal, a doorway for awareness and consciousness to journey to formless realms, to other realities. We also can receive information downloads, packets of knowing from the Absolute can enter in through the crown chakra, which is later unpacked when the timing is right for us to receive some teachings from the Absolute. Feel the open portal of the crown chakra. And then bring your attention to a spot about a half a meter, 18 inches above the crown chakra. This is sometimes called the universal chakra. Just notice if you can make contact with that chakra. If you can't, it's no problem. Just sense in there and see if there's an energy center that you can touch into. It's very, very objective. It doesn't have our perspective. It doesn't have our history or experiences. It's independent of all of that. Those of you with inner sight may be noticing a brightness in our field. This is a brilliant brightness that is one of the characteristics of the manifest Absolute. The closest color we would have to this would be a bright whiteness. But in fact, the color is actually a brilliancy, a brilliant brightness. It's the brightness of every color combined. Part of the brightness conveys a purity, a purifying that's available. Because this is a quality of the Absolute and has no judgment towards us, we can welcome this brilliant, bright purity and welcome it into and make contact with the difficult parts of ourself. The parts we're not crazy about, maybe even we dislike. We can let the purity touch and let a purification commence. Those of you who are felt sense meditators won't be seeing the brightness, but just sense into it. Feel what it's like to stand outside in the direct sun with your eyes closed or a hat on. So you can't get a visual contact with the sun, but you can feel the presence of it, radiating warmth. So let yourself feel the impact of the manifest absolute, the brilliant purity that cleanses. It helps us to drop what's untrue about us and land in the pure truth of who we are. And in the manifest is the great love of the absolute, a love that isn't born and doesn't die, a love that doesn't have favorites. It's completely objective. It loves all beings equally and fully. It doesn't separate out people it doesn't like or countries it doesn't like. Everyone is included, every being. So every animal, every form of being is equally loved by the Absolute. Let yourself open a little more fully to this love and bright purity. Your resistance to open is that little voice in you that says you're not quite good enough. Maybe you feel you're a little bit broken or damaged. Let that be included in what you offer to the love of the Absolute. Be willing to offer up all of yourself. When you meet this love, surrender control, surrender doing. Trust that the love knows best. You may feel a sense of relief, of lightness, at releasing some of the control we try to maintain. The Absolute has complete and perfect wisdom. It's always functioning exactly as is needed. We may not understand it, but it's exactly what's needed in this moment. Some of you may be in contact with the quality of presence in the manifest absolute. That's a here-ness, an immediacy, a sense that we're in a kind of thicker viscosity in our atmosphere. Just feels like we're someplace important. We're doing something that matters. This is an important moment in your life. That's how we can feel when we meet the fullness of presence of the Absolute. Relax who you take yourself to be. Relax your self-definition. Relax any effort. Just really orient to surrendering to this great love, this brilliant purity, purifying all those hard to reach places in you. all the mistakes you've made, all the self-judgments are all in contact with this purity. Feel the here-ness of presence of the Absolute, a solidity. Now, here, this is it. And the final quality we can meet here in the manifest Absolute is pure awareness. That's awareness without any reflective capability. It doesn't have the ability to compare it to any memory or prior life experience. It's fully in the moment experiencing. It knows it from direct contact, not conceptual reflection. Some of you may be seeing or feeling a fluffy white cloud in our field. That's one of the ways the love of the Absolute can appear. Soft, fluffy, embracing, like the softest bed you've ever laid in, the warmest embrace you've ever received. As you relax into the love of the Absolute, you can feel completely supported, embraced, welcomed. There can be a sense of, I'm home. I finally have returned home. Being right here. Let yourself open to receive more fully, trusting that this is a good thing, it's helpful, and you're going to be nourished through this experience. So let yourself relax and open, surrendering your efforts, not knowing what this is exactly, not knowing exactly what to do. Just be in this moment, breathing and opening to the beautiful love of the Absolute that's here. We'll sit in silence together for about 15 minutes, and then I'll ring the bell.